guys, it's Alyssa and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing some simple and delicious summer side dishes with you. These side dishes would be perfect for the upcoming 4th of July holiday or really any type of gathering you're having or just a simple family dinner. So sit back, grab a drink, and let's get started. So first off, we're going to be making one of my favorite summer side dishes, and it's my mother-in-law's spaghetti salad. I'm also going to be sharing this loaded green salad with the delicious homemade ranch dressing and this super delicious street corn dip that is so simple to make. And then we're going to be finishing it off with the perfect summer dessert, and it's this peach dump cake. We're starting out with this spaghetti salad. It's my mother-in-law's recipe. She's been making this salad for years, and it's one of my husband's favorites, and it's always a hit when I make it for a crowd. So here's everything you're going to need for this salad. You're going to need spaghetti. You're going to need the Salad Supreme seasoning, some Italian dressing, and I like to use the Wishbone brand. It's just the brand my mother-in-law used, so I never change a good recipe. Then you're going to need a red onion, a tomato, and 1 cucumber. So the first thing I needed to do is obviously get my spaghetti cooking. So I just got a large pot on my stovetop and I added in a good amount of salt and I brought that to a boil, and I just added in 1 box of spaghetti, and I broke the spaghetti in half before adding in. I usually don't do this, but for this recipe I like to, just so I can get shorter noodles for it, and I just cooked it according to the directions on the box. So once my pasta was done cooking, I just drained it, I got it into a large bowl, and then I just put that in my fridge to cool off before making the salad. You definitely don't want to have hot pasta when making this pasta salad. Then I moved on to get my veggies ready. So I thinly sliced half of a red onion, I diced up 1 tomato, and then I just cubed up 1 cucumber. So once my pasta pretty much cooled off completely, I then got it out of the fridge. I added in my veggies that I had cut up into the bowl as well. And then I added in about 2 heaping tablespoons of the Salad Supreme seasoning. So if you end up making the salad, I want to point out that you do not want to skip this step. The seasoning adds so much flavor to this salad, it wouldn't be the same without it. I then added in about half of a bottle of the Italian dressing and I mixed it up all really well. I then added in a pinch of salt and pepper just to taste. I gave it one more good toss, and then I moved it into my serving dish. So when I make this salad, I always like making it in a bowl, and then I always move it into a dish because I feel like when I mix it in the bowl, a lot of the vegetables fall to the bottom. So when I move it into a new dish, I just kind of dump and flip it, and all of the veggies end up on top, and it works out perfectly. And there you have it. This salad is so simple and so delicious. It's the perfect summer pasta salad. What makes it even better is this salad is great making ahead of time. I swear it tastes better the longer it sits in the fridge. Perfect for any cookout or gathering. So the next summer side dish I have to share with you is this loaded green salad with my delicious buttermilk ranch dressing. The salad is loaded up with some delicious toppings, and this is the best ranch dressing that complements it perfectly. Here's everything you're going to need for this recipe. You're going to need some type of lettuce. I love using iceberg lettuce for this particular salad, and then you're going to need some cherry tomatoes, some green onions, and then some bacon that I'll be cooking up a little bit later. Also some medium cheddar cheese. I just have a block here. I like to try and shred my own cheddar cheese from a block because I think it's the best. And then for the dressing, you're going to need some chives, and then you'll need some sour cream, some buttermilk, some parsley, some minced garlic, some mayonnaise, and then salt and pepper. And then I forgot to include this in the lineup, but you also need some dill for the ranch dressing. Okay, so the very first thing I wanted to get done before starting anything else was get my bacon cooking. So I got my skillet onto my stovetop and I started cooking that, and as that was cooking, I moved on to get my ranch dressing made up. So I wanted to get this done in the very beginning as well, so I could get it into my fridge to get it chilling before serving. So then I got a medium-sized bowl and I added in 1 cup of mayonnaise. Next I added in half a cup of sour cream, and then I cut up some flat leaf parsley and I added in about 1/4 cup of that. And then I added in buttermilk. So with the buttermilk, you can add anywhere from about 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup. I added in 1/2 cup first, and then after I ended up mixing it, I added in some more. I added in about 1/4 cup, just because I wanted it a thinner consistency, so kind of go with whatever you choose. And then I also added in 1 tablespoon of minced garlic and about 1 teaspoon of dill weed, and then about 2 tablespoons of diced chive, and then some salt and pepper to taste. I mixed it up really well. And then I got that into my fridge to chill while I made up the rest of the salad. So next I prepped my lettuce. I washed my iceberg lettuce, and then I got it cut up and added onto my dish. I then cut up some green onions and I added about 1/4 of a cup on top of the salad. I also sliced my cherry tomatoes in half lengthwise and I added those on top as well. And once my bacon was done, it had cooled completely. I gave it a good rough chop and I sprinkled that on top of the salad too. I then added a generous amount of this freshly shredded medium cheddar cheese. Anywhere from about 1/2 cup to 1 cup is probably good. And then lastly, I just topped it with a sprinkle of salt and pepper to taste. So here you have it. This salad is so good and crisp and refreshing. It's the perfect summer salad for any dinner you're having. Okay, so on to the next summer side dish recipe I want to share with you, and it's this delicious street corn dip. So I usually put this out before dinner, kind of like as an appetizer, but it can definitely be served alongside any summer meal. So here's everything you're going to need for this recipe. You're going to need some canned sweet corn with the red and green peppers in it, some mild green chilies. You're also going to need some cream cheese and then some pepper jack cheese, and then also some queso fresco cheese, and then some cilantro, and then for seasoning, smoked paprika, and then I put in some of the Kinder Blend seasoning. You can just add in salt and pepper to taste if you don't have this seasoning. And then I also used one of the throwaway foil pans for this to cook it in because we cooked this in our smoker. First added in 12 ounces of cream cheese. I had about 3/4 of a block of cream cheese left in my fridge, so I used that up. And then for the rest of the cream cheese I needed, I just used some whipped cream cheese. I also added in 8 ounces of pepper jack cheese. I then added in 1/2 cup of sour cream, about 1/4 cup of cleaned and cut up cilantro. I then added in 1 can of the sweet corn. I did have 2, but I just decided to go for 1. And then I added in some mild green chilies. I then sprinkled in some of the Kinder Blend seasoning over it and added in about 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Without even having to mix it all up, I put this on our smoker to cook, and we cooked it at 250 degrees for about 45 minutes. If you don't have a smoker or you just prefer to cook this in your oven, no problem. You can set to preheat your oven at 350 degrees and cook it for about 20 to 25 minutes, and just make sure to keep an eye on it and stir it occasionally. You just want it hot and bubbly. So once it was all done, I sprinkled it with some queso fresco cheese and a little bit more of some smoked paprika on top just for some color, and I served it alongside some tortilla chips. This dip is so easy, it comes together so quickly and is delicious. I'm all for any dish where you can throw it all in, kind of a dump and go style, and you have something so delicious in the end. And the last recipe I have to share with you is actually a dessert, and it's a really good one. It's a peach dump cake. So easy and delicious. So here's everything you're going to need for this recipe. You're going to need 2 cans of sliced peaches. You're also going to need a box of yellow cake mix, some cornstarch, cinnamon, sugar, brown sugar, butter, vanilla, and some lemon juice. So the first thing I needed to do was just get my oven on to preheat at 375 degrees. Got a medium-sized bowl and I added in my 2 cans of sliced peaches without draining them, and then I also added in 1 cup of sugar, about 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and then 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, about 1/4 cup of cornstarch to get it kind of syrupy and thick, and I added in 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. I gave it all a good mix and I dumped it into my dish, which was about a 9 by 13 dish. And there's my daughter Cheyenne holding onto my legs while I'm trying to get this done, making it a little challenging. Okay, so anyway, so I took my cake mix and I poured all of that onto the peach mixture in my dish. I made sure to push it down as much as possible into the peaches to kind of start soaking up that liquid. I then topped that with about 1/4 cup of brown sugar and about 1/4 cup of butter that I had cut into cubes, and I sprinkled it all over on top. Then got it into my oven to bake for 45 minutes. So once this was done, the house smelled so good. As you can see, it's nice and golden brown on top. The edges are bubbly. It was steamy hot. It just needed to sit out on the counter to cool for maybe about 20 minutes or so, which I think was the hardest part of this entire recipe, was just waiting to dig into it. So once it was done, I dished it up and I topped it with some of this delicious pecan praline ice cream I had. And oh my goodness, this combination was so good. It worked so well together. This is the perfect summer dessert, so simple, and the peaches with the ooey gooey caramelization of the batter. You won't be disappointed if you try this one out. All right, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and thank you so much for watching. I do want to point out that if you're interested in making any of these recipes, I made sure to type it out for you down below in the description box for you to make life easier. So thank you again for watching. I will be posting more videos just like this, so stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.